everybody, welcome back to another video. That's right, it's the T on NPD and relationships. Hello everyone. To all of my new subscribers and new family members, hello, hi, welcome. And to my tribe and family at large, welcome back. Thank you all so much for coming back and watching another video, fam. Y'all know I love to always plug our Thursday night live stream happening, of course, tonight. Okay, that's where we go from healing to wholeness to boldness. You don't want to miss that Thursday night live stream. Guess what? I want to personally invite you to the Thursday night live stream. I want to personally invite you. All right. I'd love to see your profile picture in the place. And of course, that's 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. That's going to be Pacific Standard Time. I'd love to see your face in the place. And listen, I want y'all to also remember, if you are on the YouTube and Facebook platform, please, if you're on those platforms, please turn your notification bells on so you know when we go live on the channel. All right. So make sure you turn your notification bells on. All right. All right, y'all. So what? Holla at your girl if you what? Hit that like button, hit that like button. Y'all know the goal of the day is 2.1K plus on the likes. If you do what? Rocks with your girl, holla at your girl. All right. If you listen, if you rocks with your girl, hit that like button. Okay. If you care, hit it. If you don't, then don't. And you know what I'm coming to find out? It's a whole lot of people that don't care. Thousands of views, 600 likes, 700 likes. Family, I know I don't have a community full of narcissists on this channel. Please don't make me believe that. Because you know narcs don't care. They really don't. They don't. Okay? So please show up and make me feel better, because I really don't want to think that. Okay? So hit that like button, all right? And also, too, if you all are looking for a life coach, I am accepting new life coaching clients at this time. All right? Also, last but certainly not least, I'll pick up your copy of the book, Seduced by Satan. It is pinned in the description below. I would like for you to pick up your copy today. Grab a copy for yourself and somebody else. Okay? Because guess what? At the end of the day, you need to know how these birds get down, because they're crazy. They really are. And I would love for you to grab a copy for yourself and somebody else. All right? So family, listen, it is pinned in the description below. It is a showstopper. It's a jaw dropper. Listen, it is an absolute page turner. And yours truly, I am going in on them every single chapter. I am going in on these birds. So I want you to listen, pick up your copy today. Grab a copy for yourself and somebody else. All right? Recommend it to your book clubs. All right, let's jump into the topic of this video. I want to talk about this. Were you the one that meant the most to the narcissist? Who is the one that means the most to the narcissist? I'm going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about were you the one? And we're going to also talk about who's the one that meant the most to the narcissist. And I think once I explain it, you'll be able to know, because all supply is not created equal. Okay? But I'm going to tell you in this video who is the one that means or meant the most to the narcissist. Was it you? Was it the new supply? Who was it? Who was it, y'all? Who was it? Who was it? I'm going to tell you about the characteristics. I'm going to tell you about who is it, the one that means the most to the narcissist, okay? Well, first of all, I want y'all to understand in this video, I want to be very clear that all supply is not created equal, okay? It's just not. unfortunately. So there are different supplies that a narcissist will have, but there are certain things that the narcissist says and does to the supply that means the most to them. Okay? That there are certain things that the narcissist says and does to the supply that means the most to them. Okay? Now, I want you to understand something about the way that a narcissist thinks when it comes to in terms of supply. Okay, so a narcissist, when they are looking for a secondary supply, this is somebody that they're just looking for as a backup to the primary supply. Okay, this is the person that they're usually going to start to have a relationship with once things start to go south with the current supply, which would be the primary supply. This is, now this doesn't mean that they're wanting to necessarily get rid of the primary supply forever. This is just someone that is going to be that they're going to fill that space. You know, they're going to be like they're going to feel that they're going to be a placeholder or a space filler for a particular amount of time. And then the narcissist is going to undoubtedly try to find their way back to the primary supply, hoping that the primary supply does not heal, does not get a clue and move on. Okay? So, who is the one that means the most to a narcissist? Was that you? Well, let's take a look. The one that means the most to the narcissist is the one, first of all, and I know this is gonna not be okay with some of you all, but it's usually the one that they were able to parentify. It's also the one that they use as their emotional punching bag. It is the one that they abuse the most in most situations. It is the one that that basically just takes all of their crap. Yeah. Now, when I say mean the most to them, it doesn't mean in a loving way. Not at all. When I say mean the most, I'm talking about you are important because they don't ever want to lose you as supply, because you are such a durable supply. Like they can unload a lot onto you, and you were able to take it. A lot of times you took it on the chin and you kept going. I mean, you took a how they say, you take an emotional beating and you keep going. You know what I'm saying? You just keep, I mean, you have a very high tolerance for pain. Let me put it like that. That's the best way to put it. A very high tolerance for pain. So if you have a very high tolerance for pain, yeah, you were the one. Usually the one that means the most to them is the one that's going to be also one that has a very high tolerance for pain. The one that provided the most comfort, the most security, okay? Also one that didn't ask a lot of questions throughout the courtship, okay? A narcissist doesn't like people that are always asking questions about things. You know, you ask too many questions, you trying to fact find, you were one that you would listen to what the narcissist had to say and you would believe them and you would trust them until you figured out, but after about the 15th go around with them, that you had to ask questions. I mean, at a certain point, you just like, okay, you lying. And you wised up and you started asking questions and things like that. But despite all of the things that I'm saying about the one that means the most to the narcissist, is that you? Or was that you? Despite all of the things that I'm saying, about that particular person. And not, oh, let me not forget to say this. Financially responsible. Woo, that's a big one. That's a big one. Okay, that's a huge one. The narcissists want to make sure that the one that means the most, that meant the most to them, or they are really very sorry about losing, or they will be sorry if they lose, is also one that is very financially responsible. Not only do you take care of your own finances, but you help the narcissist take care of their finances too. Yeah. Remember, all supply is not created equal. That new supply that they're trying to push up on, that new supply is not doing all of that. That new supply is basically just, they handling a little bit of business, but it's mostly physical with them. Or if they're just looking for somebody else to kind of get an outlet with and talk to, and hopefully get a roll in the hay every now and then, if you're going to allow them to cheat in peace. If not, then they're definitely looking at that new supply as the next one to kind of just move on to. Because if you decide that you're not going to take it anymore, then they're going to definitely need someone that is going to be willing to take their trash. But they need somebody that's going to be financially responsible as well. But I want to say this. Despite all of the things that I'm telling you about this new supply that they are, about this supply that means the most to them, I want y'all to know something. That even everything that I'm telling you, the narcissist never loves anyone, okay? Including this particular supply. Okay, so if you are this primary supply and everything that I'm telling you about this supply, it is fitting the description of you. Oh, also too, the one that means the most to them, let me just tell you one thing. You are the one that will never, ever get closure. Sometimes a narcissist will call up a supply and tell them to, off. Okay, they will. They can be something else if they don't ever want to be bothered with you again. Or sometimes they'll say that to the supply that means a lot to them, just to make that supply turn around and chase them. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, most of the time, the supply that means the most to them, the one that they never want to let go of, you are definitely going to be the one that they are going to give zero closure to. At any given time, you can expect no closure, period. You can expect no closure. Why? Because they want to always be able to have a reason to come back and have a conversation with you, period. Okay? They want that. And so with everything that I'm telling you about this supply, the narcissist still has love for no supply. And I know you're thinking, you know what? Through all of this, the narcissist still didn't love you. Did they have a care for you? Yeah. That's all they could do is care. They care sometimes. Yeah, they do. They care sometimes when they have those human moments. But for the most part, there's no love. There's not. Because you got to realize the narcissist doesn't love themselves. Okay? If you don't love yourself, there's no way possible that you can love anyone else. Love first begins with you. Okay? And that means if you have problems with loving yourself, you can idolize your children. You can give them and spoil them with everything that they need, but giving them a well-balanced life, spiritually, emotionally, making sure they're physically taken care of, and all of those things that they need to be balanced children. You can't give that to them. It's always going to be lacking in an area or areas because you yourself, you're unbalanced. You're going to either, if they don't have the second parent in the house, you're going to guilt parent. You know, you're going to parent from a place of unfulfillment, you know, which means that you're going to spoil the child because you were unfulfilled. So you want to give that child everything that you didn't have. And what it does is it ends up ruining the child, not making them balanced, whole individuals. I'm just saying, can I teach for a minute? You know, can I just teach for a minute? For a moment, okay? And that's not saying that you're a bad person. It just says that, hey, you're just lacking that self-love piece. But once you learn to love yourself, then you're gonna be more balanced with your children. You're going to put up boundaries. You're going to teach them boundaries. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't pour from an empty cup. This is why a lot of times when we try to, we're so worn out and we're so tired because we're over it. But yeah, with all of this right here, if the description that I've described about the narcissist fit, about the one that they value or that meant the most to them, if that fits you, then yeah, you are the one that means the most. But that does not mean that they love you. And why am I saying that? Because I don't ever want you to think because you may have meant the most to them, that's because you were more useful to them. That they love you and it's something about you meaning something to them that should take you back into that relationship. No, not ever. Okay? Because they're never going to love you. They're only going to use you and abuse you. So what you meant the most? You didn't mean enough to them for them to heal and to be able to love you properly. All right, family? So remember that. All right. I love you all, fam. And I will see you all on the next video. And I will see you all healed and whole at the top. Shalom, family. Peace.